So, one thing I haven't been doing is if you follow me on Instagram, you might have seen a post earlier this week about a conversation between one of my personal favorite authors, Steven Pressfield. Steven has written the works of The Legend of Bagger Vance, Gates of Fire, are some of his fictional bestsellers. On the nonfiction side, he's written The War of Art, which, if you haven't read The War of Art, do yourself a favor on that one. But anyways, as he and I were talking about the whole marketing shtick when it comes to bringing your book, since he and I are writers. Now, I don't think this is limited to just authors, but creatives of all kinds. He said, "Hunter, you got to do something." Now, my buddy who's into the techie shit, I'm quoting Steven here, thinks that YouTube is going to be the thing and everything else will just fall away, but we have to do something. Now, I'm no stranger to marketing, and I'm certainly not afraid to, and I think I'm decent at it given my experience and success, which depends on what we're quantifying as success, but that's for another video altogether probably. I've been good at it in recent endeavors, be it as a gym owner or a sprint training consultant, remote coach, all that good stuff, yada yada yada. But anyways, one thing I haven't been so good at is marketing myself as an author. And now that my proposal is out there being shopped around to different publishing houses by my literary agent, this is something that I have to do. And I think it's something that we not only have to do, but we have to get comfortable doing, because there's a fine line between hubris and humility. Are you trying to put yourself out there to simply promote yourself? Are you chasing a false god, so to speak? Are you building your own Tower of Babel? Are you your own idol? Or is the abstract embodiment of success, or the chance that more women might see what it is that you're doing, or the byproduct of whatever it is you're doing, money, notoriety, status, is that what your motivation is? Or are you to the point where it's, okay, I have a project, a novel, a startup, a composition that is killing me by not bringing to market, because I know it can help people, and it's truly my gift in terms of my gift from God, but also my gift back to the people. Then I think if you're marketing and putting yourself out there in an attempt to fulfill that moral obligation, well, that's humility. Just had to stop and get gas. I'm actually on my way to one of my stores to do some inventory. But anyways, what I was saying is, depending on what your motivation is the fine line between humility and hubris, are on a razor's edge, probably a better way of saying it. And it all comes back to your motivation. And so I say all that to say, one of the things in my book proposal is that I'm putting out a weekly YouTube video, long form, talking about self-sabotage, amongst other things. But that'll be the primary subject matter, because I feel like I have a metaphorical PhD in that. And so that's what we're doing. And I guess in regards to self-sabotage, one of the ways that I don't think I know, based on myself, is that when you are in true alignment with God, you're putting Him first, and then you're going all in on the gift that He's given you. For me, that's writing and speaking. I guess you could probably say that it's really storytelling or words. One thing I definitely ran away from the most was writing. I think I'm pretty good at it. I think I can get it a whole lot better. I think I tend to wax philosophical maybe a little bit too much, and people have called me out for trying to bring too many elements of fiction into the nonfiction world, which they're probably right. But then also I've always been a decent speaker, and it wasn't until I really doubled down on that I started bearing fruit, so to speak, with some table topics, district championships, and some keynote speaking engagements and all of that good stuff. But I say that because part of going all in on your gift, all in, definitively, by definition, means you've got to do the marketing piece, as Stephen Pressfield and I talked about, or should I say, as he was giving me advice to do. He said, Hunter, I've always thought, and still do, that your videos on the track were and are great. I don't know why he feels that way, and because I'll be honest, it's a bit of a bane for me posting sprinting content, because for a couple year stretch I used that in the most unethically Machiavellian way possible. It was interesting for social media to see a 285-pound powerlifter transform himself over a 15-month time frame, including all the injuries and the lessons learned. It was interesting for people to see that, and so my notoriety exploded, and so I capitalized on that, literally. Then you buttress that with my first ever 60-meter dash in February of 19 at my alma mater against collegiate sprinters and not coming in last. Yikes. That only made my head 20 times bigger. And then I continued to monetize it with online masterclasses and remote coaching and seminars and keynote presentations and ebooks and all of that. And so I built this completely fake persona, i.e. self-sabotage. And it wasn't really anything that I ever wanted to do. It was a pointless pursuit that came with it nothing but meaningless wins. So I say all of that to say, when Stephen was saying, hey, I think there's something to your sprinting in regards to the marketing piece for your book, I don't know what it is yet, but I'm not one to disregard a titan in the industry like Pressfield. So, but then also, the other thing that he said that I mentioned earlier in this video is he talked about the importance of YouTube, and here we are. So this is it, completely raw in the flesh, unedited, or as unedited as you could possibly make it, I guess, with regards to not having super long awkward pauses and things that just don't matter, like me filling up my gas tank a few minutes ago. But yeah, I'm at an intersection here, and I'm going to one of my Subway stores, right? Nothing sexy about it, but I think that there's something to that piece of it when it comes to, hey, you got a gift, you're going all in on it. And then the third piece of that is running your race. Everybody's race looks different. And so if you're constantly comparing yourself to, well, I'm going in all in like I think I should be with this gift, what does that look like in terms of the marketing piece? It looks like how it looks like. For me right now, it's talking to you on a tripod in the passenger seat of my 2010 Ford Escape. Now, based on the feedback I get, I might have to get a Sam Sulik-esque microphone here and maybe a better stand for my phone rather than just a tripod. But there's nothing fancy about this, and that's the point. I think there's something to that in terms of, hey, this is what you get. This is off the script, so to speak. There's nothing elaborate about it. This is raw and it is real, and that's rare. Raw and real is rare. It's the fancy, it's the over the top, it's the rehearsed that comes off as inauthentic. And I think it turns a lot of people off. So I think there's some wisdom in that. And I'm not saying that because I consider myself wise. I say that because I consider myself to be a fool, because I have self-sabotaged when it comes to the marketing piece for writing. Whenever I've tried to dip my toe in writing over the 20-year self-sabotaging spree I was in, I tried the wrong outlets. Yes, I was named Simply Faster's favorite contributor in 2017. Yes, I was published twice in Mark Bell's Power magazine. Yes, that was cool as hell to see my name on the cover of the periodical section at Barnes & Noble. Don't get me wrong, but I was going about it the wrong way. That I felt like I needed notoriety in order to do what was considered good work. And that's so backwards. It's so backwards. You know, you obtain notoriety by doing good work. You don't attempt to gain notoriety so you can do good work. It's just so backwards. It's really kind of a cosmic joke to reflect on those times in my life. Because we are hubris, and I'm speaking from firsthand experience. I don't mean to say we in terms of me accusing you of being the same, but if it's true for me, then it might be true for more than one person besides me. I think we're very hubris when it comes to marketing ourselves with things that really aren't us. Because it's a charade. It's easier to hide behind something that isn't real than to expose yourself to something that is real, which is you. That's why I was a really good marketer for being a sprinter, an online coach, a consultant, writing ebooks and things like that. Ebooks on sprinting. Yes, I was writing. Yes, I was telling stories. But I wasn't changing my story. And it's when you change your story that you change your life. It's difficult to market yourself when you're being nothing but yourself. And that's the humility piece that we have to entertain. And then we have to step into. It's a duality. It's tight. It's a distinction that can be deadly. But I would say that if you are operating in your giftedness, that doesn't make it any easier, but it makes it more clear. Okay, God, you've given me this gift of writing. I'm going all in on it, and I will market myself so it can get into as many hands as humanly possible for you. I will do that for you. For you, not for me. And that's humility. Whereas the other piece, the way that I used to market myself when I was self-sabotaging through being a gym owner, through selling life insurance, through being a consultant, through pretending to be a Clydesdale sprinter athlete, I'm going to do these things for me. So here I am trying to market myself in a different way, in the way, so to speak. Speaking of the way, I just arrived at Subway. So that's all. Let me know what you think about the video in the comments, and we'll start doing this more frequently, because it's not about me, it's about the one who sent me.